Welcome, Dr. Robinson here with another abacus lesson. We're going to do some addition. If you've been following along in the lessons, we have learned the rules of 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5 is incredibly easy, so I'm just going to hit 5 very quickly before we move into addition. Now we know this is the counting bar. The counting bar divides the top beads from the bottom beads. And the beads all the way to the right are ones. And typically what I do is I have the kids actually hold their left hand down on the abacus just to hold it steady. So we also, at this point, should know that this top bead is 5. So if I'm going to set 5, and I tell the student, please set 5 again, when you're saying set to the child, and they go ahead and set it, and if it touches the counting bar, we count it. So then they're going to say 5. So when we say set 5 again, hopefully your child is clearing 5, going over to your 10s and saying 10. He's going to count that because of course it's by the counting bar. We go ahead and say set 5. He puts his pointer on that 5 bead, sets 5, and he says 15. You say set 5, he clears that 5, and he's going to say 20. Set 5, he moves the 5 down, says 25. Set 5, he clears that 5, and he sets 30, and so on. So setting 5s is incredibly easy. So let's clear our board. So now we've literally learned our rules from 1 to 5. And there are many different ways to learn the abacus. This is the way I learned, and typically any child that's had difficulties with abacus, I teach them with learning these rules, and then they just pick it up incredibly easy. But once again, you want to individualize for whatever student you have. So let's go ahead, and now we're going to do addition. Because when you're doing something nice and easy, let's say we're setting 4, and we know the rule of 4 is you're always going to be clearing 1 because 4 plus 1 equals 5. And we're always adding up to either 5 or we're adding up to 10. Well, when we're doing math, we don't always have a 4 there. Let's say we have 9 and the child has to add 4 here. Okay, so they're clearing 1. And we also know we keep clearing until we set. So we clear 1, we clear that 5, and just like on the other lesson, I pointed that out. That's 6, right? 6 plus 4 is 10. So you want to think about everything adding up to 10. So we cleared the 1, we cleared the 5, and the other rule of we keep clearing until we set, and then we set a 10. Easy peasy. So if I say set 4, again, we go ahead and we clear 1, and we set a 5, okay? We stop as soon as we set, and we set 4 again, or adding 4 to it. We go ahead and clear that 1, clear that 5, and set a 10. Okay, so now let's just add a problem. Let's say the problem is, I don't know, how about 56? Nah, 57. It just says 57. 57. 50, 60, 70, 80. How about 87 here? And we need to add 44 to this, okay? Now, if kids are in the classroom, hopefully, and the teacher is up on the board, to help the child remember, and I'm going to tell you this works for some students it does not, and you'll need 2 abacuses. So let's say the student is in the classroom, the teacher is saying, okay, everybody add 87 to 44. What the kids can do is on the left-hand side is just use that as a placeholder, so they don't have to remember all the words, especially when you get up to 287 plus 364 or something like that. So these are just placeholders. Hopefully at this point, the child knows, okay, that's 1s and that's 10s. But like I said, some kids don't have that concept and they need a second abacus, okay? So the kid is going to go, okay, I need to add 4 here. I already know the rules. I need to clear 1. Well, I keep clearing until I set. Well, that's easy enough. Okay, so then they move over to the 10s. They need to set 4 here. Once again, they know the rule. They go ahead and clear that 1. They clear that 5. Guess what? That's 60, and they set 100. And there's your answer. Just whipping fast. 131. We love that. Okay, I'm not going to change this. Let's say the teacher says, okay, keep that number, and now we're going to add another number. Okay, now we've only learned 1 through 5, so I'm not going to go above that. So let's say we're going to do 32 now. Once again, the child is going to move to the left-hand side just for placeholders. So they don't have to hold all these numbers in their head. And they're going to go, okay, I need to add 2. Well, that's easy. That's direct. We love direct setting because you don't have to really think about it. That's 2. Now they're moving over to the 10s and they have to set 30. Okay, what's our rule on 3s? It has to equal up to 5. So we know we need to clear 2, or we're over on our 10, so we're clearing 20 and we're setting a 50. Lo and behold, we have 163. Easy. We love that. Okay, let's clear our 32. And now the teacher says, okay, just hold that number. Let's go ahead and add 52. Okay, that's great. So the child goes to the left. They set 52, so they don't have to remember all these numbers. And they know they need to set 2 over in the 1s. So what's our rule? 2, we know it has to equal up to 5, so 3 is the rule. So they clear 3 and they set a 5. Easy peasy. Now they move over and they go, we need to set a 50 bead. When we move over to the 50 bead, 50 is already set, so what do? We clear the 50 and we set a 100. And now we have 215. Beautiful. Okay, let's clear that left-hand side. We're going to keep adding to these numbers. Okay, so let's go ahead and add, I don't know, how about 34? Okay, once again, our rules of 4. Oh, well, that's pretty easy. We've got a nice direct there. We can move the 4 right up. Now we move over to the 10s. We need to set 30. Oh, direct setting. We love that. Okay, let's say the teacher says, now add an additional 34 to it. So we're going to keep our numbers on the left-hand side. We're going to go over to the 1s again. We're going to add 4. What's our rule? It has to equal up to 5. 4 plus 1. Our rule is we clear 1. We clear that 5 because there's already B there. Guess what? 5 plus 1 equals 6. So now we know it needs to equal up to 10. We already have 40 there, so we clear our 40 and we set our 50. We keep clearing beads until we can set a number. Okay, so then we move our left hand over to that 3, which is 30. That's what it represents. And we go over to our 10s and we just do 10, 20, 30. Clear and easy, so fast. If you learn these rules really clearly, then division and multiplication becomes a whiz. And our kids who actually use the abacus can solve these problems faster than kids who actually write it out and they have to carry numbers and whatnot. That's not what we call it. We don't call it carrying because we're clearly setting all the way through, just setting and clearing. Let's go ahead and do another one. How about 44? Okay, we're going to do 44, so we set 44 on our left-hand side. We know our rules of 4 is we have to do something with 1. Okay, so we're going to clear 1 and set a 5. We move our left finger over to the 4 for 40. We move it over here. We have 80. So what's our rule? We clear 1, we clear 5 because 6 plus 4 is 10. We come over to our hundreds and we set our 100 bead. Clear and easy. Let's go ahead and do, how about 21? So 21, well, that's pretty easy. 1, set that directly. 2, oh, we can set 2 directly also. And it just becomes incredibly easy. So that is addition. Those are 1 through 5. If you have not watched the videos for settings 1s, 2s, 3s, or 4s, do so. That will help you easily catch up to where we are right now, learning those rules and making life and math really easy. Okay, go and practice those skills.